What's going on, guys? Your model of the IWC Gamers going here today with your NXT review here for the Tuesday, June 29th episode of NXT. I know it is a little bit late. It's because I got off work around the same time NXT was ending, so I had to watch the show before coming on here to review it. Obviously. But NXT was a solid show tonight. I wouldn't say it was great. I wouldn't say it was bad necessarily. But it was a solid show. Definitely a solid show. Set up for the Great American Bash, which is next week. Next week we do have a Rising Star tournament, I believe. I'm not necessarily that's the name, but we have a tournament. It might be happening in 2 weeks. I'm not exactly sure, but we're having one of those come on up. But that is something we'll talk about a little later. However, we started off NXT tonight with actually some good stuff. We started off with Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai going up against Io Shirai and Zoe Stark going up against Ember Moon and going up against Shotzi Blackheart. The winner will be going on as the number one contenders going on forward. And I can't tell you enough how brilliant it is that NXT books these women. You look at just the names of this match alone. Shotzi Blackheart, a star. You look at Raquel, a star. And you look at Io, a star. And I don't know what they're trying to do with Zoe Stark, I'm going to be honest with you. Ember Moon, a star. Dakota Kai, she's not really there yet, but she's going to be there. She's still very good. And then you take a look at the main roster. Shout out to Shayna Baszler, who I'm repping today. You look at the main roster, and you look at Rhea Ripley out of NXT. Yeah, she's the champion, but she's stale. You look at Shayna Baszler, who came up from NXT. I don't even know what to say about her. You look at Asuka, who came up from NXT, being probably the best women's wrestler that NXT's ever produced. And what happened to her? Unless your name is Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, or Bayley, you're more than likely not going to have a success. I mean, Asuka had a successful run on the main roster, but nowhere near as successful as she should have had. She never nearly got the respect that she should have. She shouldn't have been losing to Charlotte at WrestleMania. That's not what should be happening with Asuka. Asuka was legit. And I really can't even tell you a name that they've really made better from their NXT self. Because you think about it, Bayley was great in NXT, top face on NXT, Sasha top heel on NXT. You could definitely say Becky and Charlotte. Charlotte was near the top of NXT Women's Division, but they brought her. And then Becky absolutely is a main roster ordeal. Maybe Alexa Bliss, but man, everybody that feels legit in the women's division, they get to the main roster and they suck. Imagine if we're sitting there on a Monday and we're looking at them using the same blueprint they use in NXT with the likes of a Raquel Gonzalez and the likes of a Shotzi Blackheart with Rhea Ripley, and everybody's interested in Rhea Ripley. That'd be amazing, but they don't. They don't. The match itself, very solid match. They did good. The one thing that I'm not necessarily a fan of is having Io and Zoe Stark win. I don't know what their infatuation is with this woman, Zoe Stark. She has ways to go. I mean, obviously they see something in Zoe Stark. I'm not exactly sure what that is yet that they see in Zoe Stark. But I'd much rather have seen a Raquel and Kai or a Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. It would have made a lot more sense to me if we had that happen rather than Zoe Stark and Io. But Zoe Stark's gonna probably more than likely help Io win a tag team championship at Great American Bash to be her first championship on the Black and Gold brand. Then we go into the back and we have Isaiah Swerve Scott of Hit Row baiting Bronson Reed. He baits him and Bronson Reed agrees to go one-on-one later this evening in the main event for his title, for his North American Championship. You can't get swerved by the Swerve man, Isaiah Swerve Scott. Come on, it literally says it in his name, Bronson. Isaiah Swerve Scott pulled one over on Bronson Reed. And we'll see what happens in the main event in a little bit. But hey, you can't let the Swerve man get a swerve on you. Come on. Then we had Karrion Kross in the ring. He says this week Johnny Gargano is going to get what's coming to him. Unfortunately, for Johnny, he is willing to die by the sword he lives by. He dares Johnny to walk out to the ring. Johnny then comes out saying last week Kross was a coward, but this week Johnny Gargano will beat him, and he will beat him at his own game. And currently, Karrion Kross is in the ring, which is Johnny's world, and it's his world because unlike Karrion Kross, who's just a big man and throws his weight around, Johnny actually has talent. That was a little jab there. Karrion Kross has a lot of talent, but Johnny Gargano, there's not many people in the world that can out-wrestle Johnny Gargano. I have him up there with the likes of a Kenny Omega in the ring. You have him up there with the Kazuchika Okadas. You have him up there with a lot of the top names like a Will Ospreay. You don't disrespect Johnny Gargano's in-ring ability. That's just something you do not do. You can even throw a Seth Rollins in there. I'll say Seth Rollins is the top 5 in-ring worker. Necessarily character-wise, maybe not. It depends on the character. But, I mean, Johnny definitely is one of the best in the world. And then he's like, but the thing is, Kross, you really don't know what I got coming. Because Austin Theory hits him from behind. But then Kross ends up fighting both of them off. And Karrion Kross goes to use the steel steps on them. Security stops Karrion Kross. And then we see Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory after the commercial break running to their car and driving away. So that is that. Next week, I believe it's next week, we're going to be getting Kross and Gargano. Very, very fun feud going on between those two guys. Unfortunately for Johnny, it's not his time. Karrion Kross, in my opinion, has a while to go in NXT. I know he was training out for the main roster. Like I said in my news video this weekend, you do not have to touch him. You don't have to touch him. You do not have to move Scarlett. You do not have to move Karrion. Leave them where they're at. You don't have to ruin it yet. You don't have to get your hands on it. Just leave it there. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. But yeah, who knows what we're going to get next week. Johnny Gargano might very well become the NXT champion for all we know. Then we get into Diamond Mine. Match really just to put over Roderick Strong and to get us familiarized with the Diamond Mine stable. I mean, I think we're going to end up seeing these guys probably fight for some sort of mid-card title. I don't really want to say the North American Championship because I don't, at this point, Diamond Mine isn't as interesting to me as Hit Row, and I really wouldn't have Hit Row have a mid-card feud with Diamond Mine. And obviously, there's no Undisputed Era anymore, so you can't have a feud with them. I mean, I don't really know what you do with Diamond Mine, because the feud era of NXT has kind of slowed down, and this is probably going to be the top feud in NXT for a while. And I mean, it's going to probably be the second top feud in NXT besides Hit Row, but I don't know how I feel about Diamond Mine. I really don't. There's something missing with them. At least now there is. Maybe we're going to get that. Roderick Strong, you got to feel bad for the guy. Do I think Diamond Mine has potential? Yes. But right now I kind of feel like it's just based off Roderick Strong. So hopefully they figure out how to get some of the other members of Diamond Mine incorporated into feeling meaningful. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know any of the other members of Diamond Mine. I see them. There's the dude with the long hair. I can't tell you his name. I don't know. I don't even think they've announced his name. He's probably one of those NXT guys that's been there for a while that I didn't see because I don't watch. I haven't been watching NXT when I was at college. I just wasn't. I was watching Raw and SmackDown. That was about it. NXT, not so much. But the one thing I was paying attention to while I was at college is Cameron Grimes, man. To the moon. To the moon, baby. Send it to the moon. Yes, sirree. I don't have a cowboy hat. I really wish I had a cowboy hat. I looked over here thinking I might have a cowboy hat. I don't have a cowboy hat. I don't even know why I thought I would ever have a cowboy hat. But I want to put one on and just to the moon. Love Cameron Grimes, man. Absolutely love Cameron Grimes. He won his match. I don't even know who he was against, to be honest with you. It doesn't matter. Cameron Grimes wiped the floor with him. Then we have LA Knight come on out, and he said, congratulations, but the thing is, nobody cares about Cameron Grimes winning because you are a loser. And LA Knight says, next week I want to challenge you, Cameron Grimes, at Great Balls, or I don't know why I was about to say Great Balls, at the Great American Bash for my championship, for the $1 Million Championship. And if you lose, Cameron, you become my butler. I don't know what it was about that, but I absolutely love the idea of seeing Cameron Grimes dress up as a butler for LA Knight. Now, it's very childish, but I feel like Cameron Grimes, if there's anybody that's going to pull it off, it's Cameron Grimes. That man is comedy gold. Now, I know I don't usually like the comedy when it's on Raw and all that. Like, I don't like the 24/7 type of thing. But if I had to get comedy in wrestling, it would be from Cameron Grimes. I absolutely love the guy because we all know Cameron Grimes is sending it to the moon. Yes, sir. Cameron Grimes. Absolutely love the man. Hopefully Cameron Grimes wins that championship. I mean, it doesn't matter. The $1 Million Championship is worthless. It literally means nothing. It has no monetary value whatsoever. You win it, you aren't important whatsoever. It's not like becoming an NXT or a North American champion. It's just not. It is literally, it might be less valuable than a 24/7 championship. It's just a gimmick, really. It's not going to be something that's really all that important. But hey, man, seeing Cameron Grimes as a butler, you won't see, I mean, you'll see a lot of people complain about it, but you won't see me complaining about it. At least for the first day. Maybe if they go over the top with it, maybe I'll complain. But seeing Cameron Grimes as a butler, for some reason, that sounds hilarious to me. Then we get Kyle O'Reilly coming on out. He says next week it is going to be Cole and O'Reilly Part 2. Last time it was a very violent, unsanctioned match. And he proved that he belongs in NXT. And most importantly, that one day he can have the potential to be the NXT champion. Cole comes out and says that O'Reilly's been obsessed with him. O'Reilly's like, I'm obsessed. I beat you, and then you try to pick a fight with me. No, I'm not obsessed. You're upset. And Cole's like, nah, you're delusional. So, O'Reilly, Cole, Part 2, next week, should be very good at the Great American Bash. Very, very good stuff. O'Reilly, Cole, man, they're going to kill it. They're going to kill it, I'm telling you right now. They're going to kill it. You better mark your calendars, man. Next Tuesday, you're gonna have to watch out, man. You're gonna have to watch out because there's gonna be some good wrestling on the USA Network. Because O'Reilly Cole to Part 2, man. Ooh, free television. Then we get Taya Shaw versus whoever Mercedes Martinez was teaming with, and Mercedes Martinez. I'm not gonna lie to you, this was a disaster. I don't even know why Xia Li is, and I just don't understand it. I really don't. And Boa, her teammate Boa. I don't even know who Mercedes Martinez was teaming with. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. But Xia Li gave a stiff shot to Mercedes Martinez, and Mercedes Martinez legitimately looked out of it. She literally pinned Mercedes Martinez, and Mercedes Martinez's head was up off the ground. It was like she was literally she was in the fetal position, literally while getting pinned. Like she wasn't laying down on her back. She was literally like while being pinned. That's not what you're supposed to look like getting pinned. Looked bad. From what I understand, they took her to the back after the match and they legitimately sent her to the hospital. Xia Li should not be doing that spinning heel kick, back heel kick, whatever you want to call it. She should not be doing that. If you can't do it safely, you don't need to be doing it. I don't want to see Xia Li ever use that move again. I'm not going to speak too much about Xia Li. I'm not going to speak too much about this match. It wasn't good. It injured Mercedes Martinez. And that's not something you love to see. You just don't. I'm personally wishing Mercedes Martinez a quick recovery. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious. Hopefully, it's not a concussion, or hopefully, it's not. Hopefully, if it is something, it isn't worse than anything like a concussion. Hopefully, we can see Mercedes Martinez back on TV either next week or the week after. Hopefully, she's not going to have to take any extended period of time off, because getting a kick to the head and having to legitimately go to the hospital, you don't want to be hit in the head. The head is a very, very delicate place, especially in wrestling. Bad things can happen if you start taking legit headshots, and that's what happened to Mercedes Martinez tonight. They got to fix it with Xia Li. She needs to be a safer worker going forward. I'm not going to harp on her too much, because honestly, I've not seen too much of her the past few months. I can't tell you really much more. Outside of this was not good. It wasn't. Then we get Ciampa and Thatcher out. They bring chairs. MSK, they come out with chairs. They all four set their chairs down. They stare at each other while sitting on the chairs. Ciampa says that they make this sitting in chair thing look good. And next week at the Great American Bash, the champions are the underdogs. Double T, Timothy Thatcher, Toothless Timmy, hasn't held gold. Nope. And he's thirsty. He's hungry for gold. And nobody knows how to hold a championship title like Daddy's home. Like his baby's gonna be back to him. Ciampa being the father of Goldie. I miss those days, man. I really miss the days of Ciampa just being the best thing about NXT TV. But Ciampa still puts on great promos. MSK, they get up, they're fiery, they say, "What? We get it, we understand it. Not everybody's talking about it. Everybody says you've got the advantage, this, that. Listen, we're the champions. You're the underdogs. We aren't coming in as challengers. Challengers are the underdogs. You guys are underdogs. And next week, when you see what we're going to do to you, you're going to understand why we're the champions and you're the challengers." Very good stuff from MSK. MSK, believe it or not, put themselves over with that promo. They're, in my opinion, they're better in-ring workers than speakers, but phenomenal promo from MSK. Then Thatcher tries to attack. Ciampa has to hold him back. Then we get into a stare down between the four men. That match next week is going to bring it. That match is going to bring it. You have Timothy Thatcher in there who can legitimately wrestle and go. He can take anybody to a good match. You got Ciampa in there, who we all know is very good at what he does, and in MSK, who I think is one of the best tag teams in all of the WWE, not just NXT, all of the WWE. That's not saying too much, but MSK is really good in the ring. Yeah, it could be something special next week. Could be something special. So, the Great American Bash is looking like a home run of a show, is basically what I'm telling you guys. And then after that, we see Karrion Kross. He attacks Johnny Gargano in the back. And then he tries to run Johnny Gargano over. Samoa Joe picks up a lifeless Johnny Gargano and then drags him inside. Samoa Joe basically saves Johnny Gargano. Samoa Joe, I got some news about him this weekend coming for y'all, but hey, Samoa Joe, absolutely love his impact on NXT so far. And then we got Swerve Scott, Isaiah Swerve Scott of Hit Row. Yes, sir. Hit Row, Isaiah Swerve Scott going a 1-on-1 with the monster, the big man, Bronson Reed, the NA North American Champion of NXT, Bronson. And what happens in this match? Well, you shouldn't get swerved by the Swerve man himself, Isaiah Swerve Scott, because, yes, Swerve baited Bronson Reed into this, but you know what else Swerve did? Swerve found out a way to become the new North American champion. Great stuff. Phenomenal stuff. Isaiah Swerve Scott is now your NXT North American champion. I love Swerve Scott. I don't know how many times I can say that. I love Hit Row. I really think that could end up one day being a NXT championship, like the NXT World Championship act. I think Swerve could be holding that, and we could be seeing the rest of Hit Row draped in some tag team gold in the Women's Championship. I mean, it's definitely possible. Swerve Scott is gonna be. I think Swerve Scott is going to be definitely somebody that at the end of 2021 and going into 2022, when you're thinking of top guy on NXT once a Karrion Kross leaves, I think he might fit that bill. That's a bold claim to make, especially when you might still have a Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano, and Adam Cole around. You might have Samoa Joe doing whatever Samoa Joe is going to do. And to potentially say that Swerve Scott could be that next guy for NXT, that's huge. I'm not going to complain if we see a future of NXT with Swerve Scott and Cameron Grimes. Think about that. That'd be absolutely amazing. Seeing Swerve go up as the NXT champion while Cameron Grimes runs the North American Championship, that'd be amazing. But if you're looking for a breakout candidate for next year, maybe that might be Swerve Scott for you. I think Swerve Scott's going to be big. This was an interesting match, man. I didn't really expect there to switch hands, especially on this show. But hey, it's getting you ready for the Great American Bash. It should be a very good show next week. I'll be reviewing it. That's all I really got for you guys. You know the social media is already on Twitter at GamersGoonYT, the Instagram at thegoongameryt. Make sure you guys go check out all the videos that I've posted the past few days. We got a news video, we got SmackDown, we got AEW, we got Raw, and then now obviously we got NXT. And tomorrow I'm gonna have AEW coming out Thursday. I might get a news video out, or I might take the day off. I'm not sure yet. And then Friday we'll be back on SmackDown. And then this weekend, you're also gonna be getting a news video. So we got a lot on our plates coming up in the next few days, man. Like I said, before I started really talking about and diving into NXT, I do apologize for getting this out a little bit late. I did get off work around 9 o'clock, which is when NXT ends my time. So unfortunately, I was not able to watch it live or anything like that. That's no big deal, at least to me. So I'm going to still get this video out for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, the same as you would if I posted it maybe an hour or two earlier. But really, that's all I got for you guys, man. That's all I got right now. Very solid edition of NXT. Was it a great show? No. Was it a bad show? Absolutely not. I would say it was probably like a 7 out of 10 show. Pretty solid. Pretty solid if you ask me. But I'm going to get on out of here. It's been your role model, the IWC Gamers. I'll be seeing you guys later tomorrow.